my name is Charlie. Today I'd like to teach you about one of the more, let's say, practical, easy, and useful drills that I've ever done on the guitar. Very basic, and this is one that me and my high school guitar teacher and everyone in the class used to do very regularly because it gets these fingers away from being these soft little things that can't press down anything hard without it hurting a little bit, to actual steel, in a metaphorical sense, steel fingers that can do anything on that guitar. Right? So we need to make sure when we're playing anything that the sound comes out in a full way. Right? So we want to sound like this and that, and not this and that. Okay? So how can we make sure, for example, our C major chord is precise or played well, right? Well, we have a C major, right? So does everyone know what that is? So we have the third fret of the A string, second fret of the E string, right here. No fret on the G, and then first fret on the B string, and then you're playing that E open as well. So, well, notice what I do right there. I don't just play the chord, right, or the chord kind of not well. I play every single note of the chord, because of course a chord is made up of notes. So a C major is made up of 3 different distinct notes. Now you might say, well, Charlie, why are you playing 5 notes? Well, 2 notes are repeating each other. The C major has a C, an E, and a G in it. This is not a time for theory, though. This is a time for practical guitar playing, okay? So we have a C major chord. Every single one of these notes are in the C major chord, okay? What we're trying to do is we're trying to isolate which notes are played well and which notes are not. Because, for example, if I play the C major poorly, I might notice that this note sounds pretty good, that's C, but this E is off. And it's because a full chord shape takes a lot of practice. Sometimes that shape's not going to come natural. Well, the shape's definitely not going to come natural right away. So if you're sitting here just trying to learn for the first time, the C major is going to feel really weird, and that's completely okay. I still love you, okay? It's fine that it sounds weird. So what we want to do is we want to discover what note it is that you're having trouble with. If it's that C, the high C, then work on the high C. If it's this E, then work on the E. If it's that C, then work on that. These strings are open, although you could be accidentally muting them with your other fingers, like this, when you're playing. So what I want you to do then, for the drill, is I want you to have a few chord shapes. Pick those few chord shapes you're trying to work on. If you're more advanced or you're intermediary and you're trying to work on a D minor 7 shape, or you're really advanced and you want to work on like I don't know, a D flat 13, 7 flat 13 chord. I don't think that's a D flat 13 chord, but regardless, that drill where you have your chord and you have a metronome. My vocal metronome. Okay, we're just trying to isolate the notes that are not full. Once every single note in that melody right there, after every single note in the chord on its own sounds full, sounds I don't know what the best word to describe it. Sounds like you're playing it to its maximum. Then when you play the chord all together, it should sound like that too, because a chord is made out of its notes. So you'll start by just playing those chords, the notes of the chords individually like that. And if you're a beginner, then you're going to hear some of this. And that's why we keep practicing that, okay? work hard, okay? It should physically hurt. You might bleed. You might die. No, I'm joking. But it's going to be tough, okay? But I want you to have the metronome and practice that one chord for a minute straight, and then move on to another chord and practice that. And you can slow down, obviously, too, if it's too hard. But we're trying to perfect the chord sound here, okay? Because you want to sound, or we want to feel good on the guitar, and practicing this is going to make your fingers harder, and it's going to feel more natural on guitar, and you want to sound good, and you need to get every note in what you're trying to play in order to sound good. It can't be half. You know, you can't have half the notes sounding and half the notes not. So this is a good way to make sure that all your notes are on board for a big old chord sandwich. Okay. And then when you get more advanced, do that, but switch chords as you go. So. You can tell that I'm not perfect still. That A minor to F transition still can be a challenge, which is maybe embarrassing for an intermediary guitar player to say, but it's true. So yeah, because that more advanced drill where you switch chords, you do that because chords, when you switch between the chords, you can sometimes not play it to the full, whereas if you just played the chord individually, then you always would. So for example, at F major, I can get a full sound on its own, but when I switch from A minor, well, there I did an okay job, but you will see what I'm saying. It's harder when you switch between chords, and of course, in the context of playing with people, you're going to have to switch between chords. So, this is a drill. I think we'll call it isolate the note. Isolate the note in the chord. And this should help you not only help you build chords and help you play chords, but also make those fingers something that not even Superman can break. Yeah. Okay. All right. Peace out. Bye-bye.